Okay, today we're going to start circular functions, sometimes also known as circle trigonometry, because we will use sine, cos and tan later on, and we'll see that in a little bit. So to begin the circular functions, we're going to look at the unit circle. So I've drawn it here. We've got a unit circle in purple, and what we mean by a unit circle is that the actual radius is the 1 unit, so the actual number 1. So it's called a unit because if I drew a radius from the center out, that's 1 unit, so we call it the unit. So here with the unit circle, the radius equals 1. Okay, so when we're looking at this unit circle, we actually, when we're working around it, we actually move anti-clockwise. So when you're thinking about measuring the angle, and we mean like the angle in here, we measure anti-clockwise. So always move anti-clockwise around the unit circle. Okay, so if we started thinking about the angle that we make down here, if we start on this x-axis, we're going to say that we start at 0 degrees. And if we follow the anti-clockwise, when we're up here on the y-axis, we would be 90 degrees. And then we come round to this negative x, we're at 180 degrees. And then down to the bottom negative y, that's 270 degrees. And then you can come back to the start, which is 360 degrees. Okay, so when we're doing circular functions, however, we are going to talk about radians instead of degrees. So if we think about the circumference of a circle, okay, the circumference of a circle, the formula is 2 pi times r. But if we think about the unit circle, we know that the radius is 1, so we can really say like 2 times 1, so we end up with, we could say that the circumference of this unit circle is 2 pi. So if we went all the way around, we get 2 pi. So here we can say that it's either 360 degrees, or we could say that it is 2 pi. So that's when we say 2 pi, we're actually measuring in radians. Okay, so if the full unit circle is 2 pi, if I only went halfway round the circle, I can see that this would be pi. We'd only gone half the way. And so if I'd gone a quarter of the circle, we can see up here would be pi on 2. Because if half the circle is pi, then a quarter is pi on 2. And then if you keep going around, this would be 3 pi on 2, so 1.5 pi's, and then we get back to 2 pi, because we know if we have the full circle, it's 2 pi. So these pi, when we're talking about pi's, that's reading in radians our degrees, and we're not going to maybe not use degrees all the time. So we can summarize our rule. If we wrote 1 radian, and sometimes we see the little c, so it's referred to radian, it's equal to, because if we can see half the circle is 1 pi, so if we say 1 radian is equal to 180 divided by pi. So we're going to use these formulas in a minute to convert maybe a degree to radians. And then we also have, if we need to know degrees, we could do, so 1 degree, so that's what we're used to measuring our angles with, is equal to pi divided by 180. Okay, so they're the two formulas that we can use to convert, and we will do some examples on the other page. Okay, so if we have a look, it says convert 30 degrees to radians. So if you look at the formula, so we've got 30 degrees equals, now we're going to go 30. Now 1 degree is equal to pi over 180. So you can convert that, and if we simplify that, that becomes pi on 6. So if you had to think about it, just to help you and start getting used to the unit circle. So if I quickly just draw the unit circle here. Now you said this was pi on 2, and we know up there is 90 degrees. So if I had, say, halfway through there, that must be half of a half, so that would be pi on 2. So if that would be 45 degrees. Now we got it a little bit less than that, so pi on 6. So you can see what we've actually done in here. We're saying that this angle all the way up to there, so say that was 30 degrees, that's equal to pi, or we could say in radians, pi on 6. That's just to help you. All right, so then if we have the other way and we have pi on 4 radians, we know that 1 radian is equal to 180 over pi degrees. So you simplify that and you're going to see that the pi's can cancel out and we get left with 45 degrees. Okay, with this unit, it is very important that our calculator is in radian modes. So calculator must be in radian mode for this unit. If you don't know how to do that, I will help you. Come and see me. Thanks.